Hello, everybody. It is Thursday, June 10th. Mark Newstater with eXp Realty, and it is our time for another weekly real estate update. Jaden Bax from Avenue Financial joining me again today. Jaden, is it raining up there in just north of
Yeah,
Airdrie?
it is raining up here, but I've had the fireplace going all day long, so it's been nice.
Nice. As my
Yeah.
late dad used to say, this was what the farmers call $1 million rain.
Yeah, it's exactly that. It's great for the crops. The cows just got moved onto our land today, so yeah, life is good out here.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Well, interesting week again this week. We're going to throw the stats up, get to Jaden's mortgage update as well. So I've just updated this for those of you that do watch this regularly. What I've done is, opposed to having to do math in my head, which I am clearly not very good at, I have done myself the favor of changing this slide up a little bit. So we still have our new listings, our solds, our pendings. What I've done is I've tallied the solds and pendings, and then what is the net difference? So when I say plus 126, that means that sold and pending were 126 higher than the new listing. So there we go. So the week of June 2nd to 10th, 570 new listings, 486 solds, 206 pending. So that gives us 696 solds and pendings. So plus 126 on that bottom there. We had 2,939 detached listings now total in the market. And we're kind of edging up, we're about 400 up from a few weeks back. I will say that total listings, I took the week 5 and 6 off here. We're about 1,000 listings higher than we were just over a month ago. So that's interesting. I mean, clearly, the detached listings are creeping, but the apartment, condos, townhouses, row, semi-detached, they're ballooning up a little bit more. We tend to watch single-family detached stats as kind of a key indicator. So again, if we look at this net difference down at the bottom here, and this is what I've been talking about, I feel like it's a good indicator of where we are in the market. But if you can look at this bottom row, I mean, back in May 6th to 13th, the difference was only 97. And that was a bit of a blip week because it was in the 200s prior to that. Then we dropped down to 145, then plus 94, but then back up to 126 this week. So, there's just not a lot of trending here. I'm certainly not a statistical scientist or data analyst or anything like that. So, it's tough for me to make a comment. I'm not the CREB, chief economist, Anne-Marie Lurie, but, we're seeing a slight decline in that difference. But if you look at our top line here, and this is for Number Geeks, I mean, we were 587 about a month ago for new listings. We were 570 today, and it dipped down to 518, up to 539, and then 602 last week. And, having said that, though, our solds, the highest solds that we had in the last month was last week, right? So this market continues to confound us, right? All that being said is, what does it mean to you if you're a seller? If you're a seller and you have your home priced right, you can still get it sold quickly, maybe for multiple offers. There are pricing strategies I can share with you that I literally just got off the phone with a client and shared with him why it was smart to start at the price we're going to start at versus his idea, which was going $20,000 or $30,000 higher. So that's kind of the market update for this week, and we don't really know. I would just say it's still a very robust market, and there's more listings coming on, but there's also a ton of sales happening, and that really leads me into what's happening in mortgages, Jaden, with the mortgage stress test affecting some people. If you're up at your max budget, have you seen a dip this week? Are people backing off of their max so they can get to not having to worry about the new stress test?
Yeah, no, I think there are, like I say, 90% of my book, 95% of the people I work with aren't maxing out their ratios anyway.
Yeah.
And so I'm not seeing a huge kind of pushback from that. What I've actually seen, which is interesting, and just in the way that some of the deals that I put in that are interesting, let's say. So it's maybe a little bit of a peek behind the curtain, and we know that this is obviously way more stressful for the person out buying the house. But I put in just a perfect deal. I've been working with this client for a month and a half, and really working closely with the lender to place it with the right person, because there was some different things about it. Some new to Canada, the down payment wasn't in the country. There was some moving parts in it, and I just found a really great match for this particular borrower. They found their house. We were going ahead. My underwriter put it up through management to do a final review of the deal before they gave me a commitment, and I got a decline. And it just took the air out of my sails a little bit. We had been strategizing together and why this lender fit the client so well, and so now we're going back and looking at option B and option C and setting them up with their local bank to make sure that they have financing in place, because these people are great young professionals that should never have gotten a decline. And I just think sometimes that there's things that are beyond our control, right? Like it's maybe that particular lender is slammed with a different type of file that week, and they're maybe not interested in that business at that point, but they can't come out and say that, right? So, it's very, very stressful for my clients. Great people, very understanding. We're moving forward with another plan, but just so everybody out there knows, like, we know how stressful it is for you. It's stressful for us when it doesn't work out the exact right way the first time. The reason we're here is to take on that stress and keep fighting for you, right? So that's what I'm doing, and that's what you do, and that's what we'll continue to do.
Yeah, I had clients that it wasn't a mortgage issue; it was a Poly B issue, which I'd still like to delve into that deeper at a later point with one of our plumbers, Kyle from Icon Plumbing and Heating. But the home ended up having Poly B, and I think as they got further into the process, they got more scared off by it. And my job is not to unscare you. My job is to give you information, and then you make the decision that's best for your family, right? So, that deal didn't work out for them. They kind of are still lamenting it because they almost would have been moved in by now. And I said, listen, guys, here's the reality. I am not in any rush unless you are. And if the first house doesn't work out or the second house doesn't work out, to me, that means it wasn't the right house for you. And it's sometimes hard in the first few days or even a couple of weeks after you lose out on a place. But there's always going to be the right house that's going to come along, and there's no perfect house anyway. So that's interesting info. And of course, for more info, reach out to Jayden, reach out to myself on the real estate side of things, and we'll continue to monitor the crazy market and see what's happening next week. Jayden, any closing thoughts?
No, I think, I don't be scared off by that stress test. You can see what the market is doing with Mark. Get pre-qualified, get pre-approved if you're looking to sell your house so that you know that you can get into the next one quick. And just make sure that you're working with a great team to get into that next house.
Awesome. Thanks, Jayden. You enjoy the rest of your week, and we will talk to you next week. See you, everybody.